Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Kyleaye, and before I even get into what this whole video is about, I just want to take a second to thank all of you for supporting me in general, supporting the Miami Donphans, for believing in us, for supporting the dream. We have hit 10,000 subscribers, and my mind is blown, so I just want to take a second to say thank you, and I love y'all. I love you. I appreciate you. And if you want to leave a comment and let me know if you want me to like do anything like special for that. If you want me to do any kind of video, I can. Otherwise, you know, we can just go on with our lives. But I did, you know, drop a few tweets about it, and one's actually pinned to my Twitter. If you guys want to follow me on there, it's at Kyleaye _. So you guys can see the tweet with the 10,000 mark. As well as, you know, if you guys want to interact with me and keep in touch, I do reply to all the comments. Every comment that I can reply to, I reply to. But usually whenever I upload a new video, like, I stop going back to the old ones. So, you know what I mean? Like, unless it's like I do like a few in a weekend, then, you know, then like if I upload a battle Saturday and a battle Sunday, I'll watch both, like, you know, for the next, like, however many days. But anyways, now that little spiel is out of the way, first thing I want to do is just let you guys know that this is going to be a WBE World Battle Entertainment season recap, and my good buddy John Pokemon actually did one of these for Pokemon 4 Glory for the P4G, and I loved it. Like, that was a concept that didn't even like cross my mind, and I'm sure a lot of people do it. I actually just got done watching A-Drive, watching Dan's WBE season recap, so you know, this is probably going to be really similar to his, so go watch his too, because, you know, without him we wouldn't be here, and without the Rampardos, I got me a Rampardos plushie. You should get one too. Without Dan and the Rampardos, there would be no WBE, which means there would be no Miami Donphans here right now. So this thing is soft too, by the way. I got him chilling right here on my desk. But anyways, yeah, I saw John do one of these, and it was really dope. So this is just a vanilla Kyleaye, no editing, just we're chilling right now, okay? WBE. So the main focus of this league, when Dan made this league, was to have fun, okay? We are here, we're trying to have a good time, you know what I mean? And this was, first of all, I was honored to be invited. It's not something that I thought was going to happen, even though, like, I was definitely down. Obviously, I joined, but getting this opportunity really means a lot to me personally, as well as to you guys, because you guys love the battles, you know what I mean? Like, it was just a good fit, and just the style of league is very appealing to me because of the way I play the game. You guys have seen me in NPA, you've seen me in P4G, and I don't win a whole lot, but that's because I'm not a super try-hard player, and I'm not the best at the game. You know, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses. I'm not that good, but if I do want to focus and put my whole mind into it, I know I could be better. I know I can, but that's not really, you know, I was a super competitive sports player. You know, I was an athlete growing up, so I've got a lot of that out, and maybe I will join a league in the future that is like a try-hard league, so let me know if you want me to do that. I have already committed to another league that I'm joining, plus I'm joining, which we just drafted for, which actually A-Drive in his recap video mentions that. That's the same league that I just joined. Plus, I'm joining the NPA, and I currently have the XBL going up. And then, yeah, so that's 3 leagues. WBE will probably return in the spring or the summer, and then we got P4G. So that's 5 leagues already that we're balancing. But if you guys want a 6th league, like a try-hard league, let me know. But anyways, now that that's out of the way, WBE for Fun League. And one of the concepts that I loved about this league so much, in addition to it being for fun, is the fact that we got to draft a Z Crystal. So that was something that was, we just kind of, I think it may have been Dan himself that proposed it, and just kind of threw it out there on a whim. It was like, hey, would you guys be down to do this? I think it would be a good mix-up. And that was something that caught my attention because I like to do things differently. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm down. Let's do it. So, you know, we did the draft. We ended up getting the Firium, I can never say it, Firium Z, okay? We got the Fire Z crystal. And a lot of people kind of scratched their heads whenever we drafted it, but I felt like at the time, I mean, even if you look now, look at all my Pokemon that could use it. Technically, Lopunny could, because we do have the option to not Mega and bring a Z move, but I never did that. It wasn't worth it. Tangrowth could with Sunny Day. Crook could with Fire Fang. Salazzle obviously could. Tyrantrum can. Frostlass can with Z Will-O-Wisp. Swellow can with Heat Wave. And Slowking can with Fire Blast, which we actually brought twice. So that's, what, 8 or 9? I already lost count. 8 or 9 of my 11 picks can use my Z move, technically. So I thought that it was a really good fit for me. But I just want to go into the Pokemon themselves. So if we take a look, a lot of people may think that Mega Lopunny was a huge, huge disappointment for us. And I can definitely see that. But I feel like I used Mega Lopunny at the end of the season the way that I should have played her all along. So I am definitely down to bring this Pokemon back again someday, and if I do, I'm gonna know what I'm doing, you know what I mean? I tried, you know, the first game I got no kills. I played against Nexus, right? And we missed high jump kick. Second week, we missed high jump kick. Like, you guys know I miss attacks, man. I miss attacks, so I need to stop having faith in accuracy because it just doesn't work for me. So, but, you know, later on, I started using different lower accuracy attacks, and we started performing well. So, you know, only able to pick up 5 kills, and all of those were actually in one game. So, yeah, and then 5 deaths out of 7 games. So 2 games we won, and it didn't you know, do anything. But then, you know, the rest of those games, yeah. But Scizor, this was a really awesome Pokemon for me. I really did enjoy it. I brought it 10 times. You know, we had 11 games because there's 12 of us, right? So we had 11 games. I brought Scizor 10 times. And if you look, the only other Pokemon I brought that often was Slowking. But Scizor was amazing for me. It got 8 kills. 6 were in one game, though. So I think, something like that. But yeah, Tangrowth, amazing Pokemon. I would love to get it again. Just Regenerator is so good. You know what I mean? I think that's awesome. Sylveon, I should have brought more, to be honest. Choice Spec Sylveon Hyper Voice is so good. Even after the nerf, it's still amazing. With Pixelate not doing as much. Pixelate basically got nerfed, right? So like it's just not as strong as it once was. But in Gen 6. Crocodile was amazing. I brought it 7 times. It's actually more versatile than I thought, having access to different ways I could use it, and I kind of just got it because it looked cool. Because if you guys know how I draft teams, right? I draft Pokemon that I think look cool. I draft Pokemon that I think you guys would enjoy seeing in battle, and I don't draft lame Pokemon, and I go for style points, you know what I mean? Because I like to play for fun, so I like to have a fun team. And so I was like, I definitely got to get Crocodile. I loved it. Loved having it on my team. Salazzle. This was the pick that I just was like, hey, I need a fire type. Let's go with Salazzle. It looks cool. It's tier 3. Sure, let's do it. And I loved it. I promise you, at some point, I'm going to draft Salazzle again. I brought it 6 times, and it got 10 kills, and it only died twice. Like, this girl right here is a monster. Tyrantrum, something I only brought 4 times, but it had a big impact whenever I did bring it, or people prepped really hard for it. So that's something that was to look out. Frostlass, I picked up because I dropped Electros and picked up Frostlass, and it got no kills. It did die twice. It was the only thing on the team without a kill, but I liked the utility that it had, and I don't regret that decision at all. Swellow, I should have brought more, to be honest. It only died 1 time. I was trying to keep the dream alive and have Swellow go undefeated, but at one point it did go down. It was whenever I play Wolf Glick. Shout out to Wolfie, by the way. Great friend of mine, and he's an awesome dude. Slowking, I love Royalty. Royalty, baby. Slowking, amazing Pokemon, and I would definitely pick him again someday if possible. If not, then I'll take Slowbro. So you can expect one of them to come back. Lantern, though. Lantern was the biggest shock for me. Like, as far as shock value, no pun intended with it being electric type. This Pokemon is so good. I was not ready. I brought it the same amount of times as Mega Lopunny because I could literally throw it on a team and I can stop Volt Switchers, or I can absorb water types to help protect things like Salazzle, and it's just like, it was just good. Too, it could Volt Switch itself, it gets Heal Bell, obviously, you know, Scald, but Water Absorb, Volt Absorb, it was just really good, and I didn't expect it to be that good. So now that I know that, now that I have unlocked the potential, I'd love to get it again someday. Another thing though with Mega Lopunny is that even though it didn't perform up to standards, having it on the team forces your opponent to prep so hard for it, which is why I feel like my other mons were able to capitalize, because people would prep so hard for Lopunny. I could either not bring Lopunny, or I could bring it as just like like I could throw it on as my 6th Pokemon, and the rest of my team, my utility guys, could do work. So let's go ahead and look at the actual matches themselves. Week 1, we played against the boy Numb Nexus, and it was a 1-0, and it really came down to the end. Really what had happened was he had Tangela, and I just wasn't, like, who the hell's ready for Tangela to do work, you know what I mean? And it didn't get any kills or anything, but it's just, or it did get a kill actually. It killed Crocodile with Giga Drain. But the fact that Tangela, because you know it's the same as Tangrowth, it gets regenerated, it's a grass type, but it has Eviolite as well. And it's got, you know, added bulk, plus it can regenerate, and it was a really, really good battle. It was one of my favorite battles that I've ever had against Nexus. It was a good one, and yeah, you know, he outplayed us. We did miss a high jump kick, which is actually what killed Lopunny. She died because she missed high jump kick. So you know, that's something that does need to go into the thought as well. Blaziken was going off. It got back-to-back kills, and then it also died to recoil. I believe it had Life Orb. It either died to Life Orb recoil, or else it used Flare Blitz and just suicided. But this was a tremendous battle, and good job to Numb Nexus. Also, I can't believe I didn't state this. We did make the playoffs, which is amazing. We've never made the playoffs before. So that's really awesome. And the teams that got further than us being A-Drive, Wolfie, Nexus, and John, because we tied with Luke in the playoffs. We both got last in the playoffs. Which, by the way, on Sunday is the championship game, Wolfie versus John. So be sure to check that out. But every team that got further than us in the playoffs did beat us. We beat Dan in the regular season, but he did win the rematch. So it's not at all anything that I'm salty about, because I know that every team that did finish above me earned it versus me, you know what I mean? Like, they beat me, so like that is what it is. I have done things like fantasy football when people get further than you, but it's like I destroyed that person, or you know what I mean? It's like, or it's like the divisions were in a way where I couldn't win even though I was doing better. Those are things that can happen, but not in a league like this where you play against everybody. In my opinion, it's the most fair way to do it, and that was awesome. Shout out to them. Week 2, we played against my boy Chase and Crimson Seabad, and we got destroyed. There's no doubt about it. It's a 4-0, and it wasn't a... Sometimes there's a close 4-0. There is such thing as a close 4-0, and this was not one of those times. Basically, Scolipede gave the speed boost to Alola Marowak, and it just bent us over. Like, there's really no other way to put it. Alola got 3 kills. Tyrantrum was able to then kill it, but then instantly died to Conkeldurr, and then from that point, I was able to revenge kill Conkeldurr with Sylveon, but then all he did was bring in Scolipede and just finish the job. So GG to Chase. He definitely tore us up, and that was whenever I had to take a moment. If you look there, I started 0-2, right? And 0-2, -5, and then I hit liftoff. Here's a win, here's a win, here's a win, here's a win, here's a win. So what I had to do is I had to do some evaluating, okay? And if we look right here, week 3. If you look at week 3, I brought no high tier Pokemon. I brought all low tiers. I brought the underdogs. I said, you know what? I need to do something different. And of course, I'm still having fun. You know, we're still goofing off and doing whatever. But I was like, I need to do something different. I need to try this out. So I go all underdogs this week, okay? And he had Victini, Manaphy, and Shaman on his team. And his team was nasty. I think he had a good Mega, too. Or I say Steve. It wasn't even Steve. It was Battler X that I played. It was just Steve's channel, Magnitude. But, yeah, man. And this battle was also down to the wire. It was a 1-0 that ended up being in our favor. We did battle Battler X before he had to leave the league, actually. So we were one of the few teams that, or one of the, I guess the most teams played him, but I was able to play against him. And this game was really all over. I do recommend that you go watch it, just because it was never like a Pokemon came in and destroyed. Like whenever I played Chase, it was like a Loac came out, bodied me, I revenge killed it, he revenge killed, I revenge killed, he bodied me again. Like, it wasn't like that. Like, this game was like, I got a kill. Then, you know, we had some switching around. He got a kill. We had some switching around. I got a kill. There's really, I'm trying to see, I don't see any revenge kills on here. Everything was just kind of like, boom, like it was all played out. It was a good match. I suggest that you watch it, because it was, I don't know, it was just cool, man. It's cool whenever you see back and forth action and with big plays in between. You know what I mean? Anybody could watch a game of basketball whenever, you know, you make a basket, then they make a basket, then you make a basket, then they make a basket, or you make 4 baskets, then, you know, they make 1. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, whenever it's like, okay, I shot a 3, they bring it back, they got to steal, I got to steal, there's a foul, there's this, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it was a lot of action. So I do recommend going to watch that. Week 4, however, this is the game right here that was the biggest fluke I have ever experienced in draft battling. I said it after the battle, and I'll say it again now. Well, first of all, shout out to Drew, Mr. Talent. Hell of a nice guy. He really is. I didn't know him before the league, and he's super cool dude. But and he's a far better battler than me. That's what I was gonna say. He, in my opinion, he is, you know, he's ahead of me. Like, he really is. Basically, what had happened here in this battle was that we brought Scizor with Metal Claw, right? Because we didn't want to bring Life Orb to take damage. We didn't want to bring Choice Band because we wanted versatility. So basically what we did was we brought, and I'm saying we as in myself and my assistant coach, Jake. Shout out to Jake. You my man, Jake. But we brought Scizor. Basically, we hit a Swords Dance, and we were able to stay. I stayed in on Emboar. An Emboar. I stayed in with Scizor because I was max speed, so I knew worst case scenario, unless he was Scarfed Emboar, that we were going to speed tie if he was max speed. So he would have outsped me no matter what if he was Scarfed, but if he wasn't Scarfed, he would have to be max speed, Jolly, and win a speed tie against me. So I was like, alright, if he kills me, he kills me. If not, we're going to OHKO him because I had the Aerial Ace. So +2 Aerial Ace, I was able to OHKO that. Then he brought in Nidoking, and +2 Stab, Technician Boosted Bullet Punch with the Metal Coat was able to OHKO Nidoking, and that was a calc that we ran and were like, okay, you know, he has to, you know, there has to be a certain defensive spread, but the way that we calc this should OHKO, and it turns out that it did. From there, he even brought in Buzzwole. We were able to kill that, but then he forced us out, and after that, it was kind of back and forth, and it could have been a 5-0. However, I did end up switching into Crocodile at the end and securing the 6-0 to try and help my differential. But I would love to battle Drew again. Hopefully, you know, next season we'll play, or, you know, whatever. But shout out to him. Super cool dude. Then, next we played against the boy Feint Attacks, right? Christian. And this game, there was a lot of controversy this week because, or the week before, excuse me. So the week that I played against Drew, Christian played against Dan, A-Drive. And basically, we had like a timer stall situation that was on our hands. And, you know, it's in the past now. It's behind us. But basically, it came down to him saying, look, this was my only option to win, so I went for it. But the thing is, like, it's a for fun league. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, you should have played it out. And then in that case, Dan would have won. So that was the thing. So I kind of was joking around, and I was talking with Jake, and then I DM'd Dan. I was like, all right, man, I'm about to play Christian. I'm going to avenge you. And so we played our game, and this is where I found out that Salazzle, Salazzle's substitute is on steroids. Like, for real, man. I clicked substitute with Salazzle. First, it was a decently long battle, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, like, holy cow. Like, it was just long. It was long, like, oh my goodness. And this is another time when Low Punny killed himself with missing high jump kick. And this is where I was getting fed up with Low Punny. I was like, Christ, man. Like, kick them! Quit kicking the wall or whatever you're kicking. Kick them. That's what you're trying to do, right? You're jumping up high, land something. So that's where I had to start changing my thought process on that. But Salazzle, all 6 kills were by Salazzle in this game. And, oh, sorry, I just hit my mic. Salazzle able to kill Celesteela with Flamethrower was huge. And then from that, we did switch out and basically sack off Lantern to make a Gardevoir, if I remember correct. I know Gardevoir killed Lantern, but from there, I was able to bring Salazzle back in and predict the switch. Basically, because he wasn't going to stay in with Gardevoir and take a Sludge Wave. So I was able to set up a substitute, and then from there, we were able to actually sweep and get the 5 kills in a row after we had already got the previous one. So Salazzle got a kill, left, came back out, got the 5 kill sweep, and you know, justice was served. So I said it as a meme in the video. Shout out to Christian. He was he was cool with me. So but yeah, that's how that went. And this is where we were starting to build some momentum. You know, we had a 6-0 versus Drew, even though, like I said, it's a fluke. It shouldn't have went that way. But we got a 6-0, and then even though this game was only a 3-0 win, I say only a 3-0. 3-0 is really good. But even though this was a 3-0 win, we got a 5-kill like sweep. So that's pretty hype. Up next, we played against Elliot. And this was another good battle. I believe we also brought Swords Dance Scizor this week too, and we were able to start off with the first 3 kills, which was pretty dope. And then it was just like really back and forth. And I think at the end, it came down to Swellow and Volcarona. I forget exactly how it went down, but I was so scared of like Volcarona. But then we were able to edge it out with Swellow, so that was really dope. So there we got 4 wins in a row. So now I'm like, okay, we're 4-2. This is nice. Then we played against Wolf Glick, and my boy Wolfie, man, in this battle, I was telling Jake, I was like, yo, let's run Z Sunny Day with Tangrowth. Please, 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 let's do it. But then we were like, no, maybe we shouldn't do it, like, because we didn't know exactly how it was going to go down, so we passed on it. But the way that the seeding was looking throughout the rest of the season, I was like, okay, it looks like Dan's going to get the bye, and I'm going to play Wolfie first round of the playoffs. And if that happens, we're no matter what bringing it. I don't care because I'm trying to meme and have a good time. But this battle was actually really fun. We were able to get a lucky prediction with Lantern and take out Pelipper to start the game, which was what I thought was going to nullify Rain and help us win. It turned out he had a bulky Mega Swampert with Rain Dance on it, so he was able to set up the Rain again on his own, and then we ended up actually losing that one to Gengar, getting the last couple kills. So that was a really good game, and yeah, shout out to him. Then up next, we played against John and my boy Pokemon, right? And he absolutely destroyed us. Now, this game we did meme pretty hard. We actually brought like Cosmic Power Low Punny, and no lie, I wanted it for the thumbnail. But and it was in the thumbnail, but it just wasn't it didn't fit me. It didn't fit me at all. But you see how I was trying something different. I was trying high jump kick, low punny. I was fucking missing and killing myself. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to try something else. Let me try cosmic power baton pass low punny. So I was able to pass that off. However, the only thing I was able to really pass it to, I think, was Tangrowth, I believe. And it didn't work out in my favor. And then we just kind of got bodied by Nidoqueen. I think got 4 kills on us, and maybe 5. So yeah, that was not the most fun. I mean, it was fun, but it's never fun getting your ass handed to you, served up to you on a silver platter. But up next, we played against the boy Patters, and super nice dude. Definitely glad to meet him. He's a good guy, and this was a great match. It actually came down to, this is the week we ran physically offensive Sylveon with frustration, and it was actually really cool. It's a slower game plan because you do set up, I think, with Curse, but just the fact that it's a Sylveon made it pretty cool, in my opinion, since it's attacking physically. So that's why I did it, and we were able to pick up a 3-0, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else like notable in that game. No, it looks like that was about it. Also, I forgot to mention the game against Steve, Battler X, up in week 3 was when we brought all the low tiers. That was when we debuted Z Fire Blast Slowking, and we had a lot of fun with that, so that was great. So after we beat Patters, we were in a situation where it was like, okay, we have to win at least one of our last 2 games to make playoffs. If we win both games, we can get a higher seed. So we play against Dan, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, I played prior to this. The only people that I had ever played, Elliot was 1-0 against me. Crimson was 1-0 against me. And John was like 3-0 against me or something. I played him in a few leagues. And Dan is also, I think, was 2-0 or 3-0 against me. He beat me in P4G. He beat me in NPA. I think those were the only 2 times. I think he was just 2-0 against me. So we played, and I was like, you know what? I'm running this heat set. I mean, I thought it was heat. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. But I'm bringing Power Up Punch, Low Punny with Last Resort. So that's it. I got no Fake Out. I got no High Jump Kick. I don't got any of that BS because I'm tired of missing, okay? And basically what had happened in this game was my Tyrantrum was actually misgenned. And during the battle, he starts going off with Mega Absol, just smoking my team, bro. Like, my team is falling left and right to Mega Absol. I actually got first blood with Scizor, taking out Rotom, and he has Rotom Wash. And then he brought in Mega Absol and just got 4 kills on me, straight up. And I was like, oh my Christ. So I actually DM'd him. I was like, GG, man, Salazzle is OP. Like, during the game, I wasn't quitting or anything, but I was like, you know, like, I want to say it now, because, you know, that was fire. And the reason why I did that was because my Tyrantrum was misgenned, and I thought for some reason, I confused it some reason, I thought my Lopunny was the one that was misgenned. So I was like, oh, like, because I forget, it was like, Tyrantrum had like no speed or something like that. Like, all of its speed EVs like weren't there, and I thought that was different in my head. I thought it happened to Lopunny, so I was like, I'm gonna bring out Lopunny. I'm gonna get OHKO'd by Play Rough from Absol, and I'm gonna die. And you know, Dan's like, just play it out, which I would have anyways. But you know, in my head, I was like, all right, I just got bodied. Turns out he didn't have the Play Rough, but my Lopunny was genned correctly. It was only my Tyrantrum that was misgenned, so I was able to outspeed the Absol. Which he switched anyways. He brought in Uxie, and I was able to actually get off a Power Punch initially. So I was at +1, and then I was able to fire off a Last Resort and OHKO everything. And I was able to get the reverse 5-0 sweep. So what was looking like I was going to get 5-0'd, I actually ended up getting 5 kills in a row with Lopunny and winning 2-0. I could have went Lopunny first, after Mega Absol got the first kill, but I thought it was misgen, so that's why I had it in the back, and I just started throwing my team out there. Like, I was like, all right, Lantern, try. Nope, you died. Scizor, try. Tyrantrum, try. I was just throwing shit out there to see if it could live a hit, because I thought my Lopunny was misgen. But that was a good battle. Then we played Luke, and this battle right here, I do not see it in my. I don't see it in my tingy. All right, you know what? We're gonna wing it, because I remember for the most part this is what happened. It was a 1-0 battle. It was a great game. Basically, what had happened was I was recording the video, and it was snowing here in my town, in my city, and I lost power during the battle. I lost power. Everything shuts down. My Wi-Fi, my computer, my lights, my whatever, you know, everything. My fridge, it was all donezo. So I get back on, and I'm like, dude, I am so sorry, man. Like, my Wi-Fi is amazing. I pay good money for my Wi-Fi. Like, I've never had a DC issue on my end. So he's like, nah, man, it's cool. Don't worry about it. We got in a call. We figured out the way that would be most optimal to recreate it, since we didn't remember all the turns. But we got to a good spot, and then we played it out from there. And I actually, then I started re-recording it. So my battle, like, whenever I started recording, was already like 3 kills into the game. So, you know, if you want to see the full thing, go to Game Boy Luke's channel and watch that. But he was a tremendous sport and a good person for helping me out through that. So that was great. That was the end of the season right there. We ended 6-5 plus 3, which we did make playoffs. We were the last seed. If we would have beat Luke, we would have been a seed higher, and Drew, Mr. Talent, would have made the playoffs. If I would have bodied Luke like 6-0 or 5-0, I think I would have even got a higher seed. I would have got a higher. I think I would have switched places with Nexus, so I would have played Drew in the playoff. I think is how it would have went. I'm not sure. Maybe I would have played John, but it would have been differently, right? So my goal of the game was to win, but barely, so I could stay in there, because John had bodied me the most. So I was trying to get on the opposite side of the bracket as John, but I ended up losing. So I was still on the opposite side as John, but I lost, so I had to play A-Drive first. I was like, oh, well, fuck. You know, like, I already won, but he's 2-0 against me before that. So he's 2-1 against me, and rematches are so hard, man. They're hard, and a lot of the times the team that won has a harder time in the rematch, just because you learn, like, this is going to sound so corny, but, like, you really, truly do learn more from a loss. Like, you really do. And even though when I beat him, you know, there's nothing you could do, but for me, I'm like, holy cow, like, that's a win. Like, what did I learn? I learned to fucking check all my Pokemon and make sure that they're not misgen, because, or figure out which ones are misgen and not confuse them, because only my Tyrantrum was wrong and not my Lopunny. But, so we played again, and this battle in the playoffs against Dan was my favorite battle I have ever had in Pokemon, in any gen, in whatever. It was the best game. It came down to last stock, last hit. That's a Smash term. It came down to last Pokemon, last attack, like 1v1 in the end. Mega Lopunny versus Hitmonlee, and this game was just so good. We were able to actually kill his Heatran with Power Up Punch with a crit. And with my calc, it was a roll, but I didn't know his investment, you know what I mean? So he was invested to the point where that crit actually did matter. So that was something to definitely take in mind. The thing that I learned the most from this was I actually sacked off my full health Tangrowth. Full health Tangrowth to Scarfed Crobat's Brave Bird, because Crobat actually suicided to recoil. I knew it was going to die, and I had Lopunny, and so I had to switch. I should have sacked off my Scizor. I don't know why I didn't. My Scizor was burned, and only at like 40% health, so it was as good as done anyways. But for whatever stupid-ass reason, I thought that it would be better to keep Scizor, and I went into Tangrowth because I thought I could live, which I knew I could live, and I did live the Brave Bird, but I forgot I was burned or poisoned or whatever it was, and I died to the status condition. I died to Rotom Wash's burn because I ran the calc and I was like, well, okay, Tangrowth can live. So I'm going to bring in Tangrowth, I'm going to eat this Brave Bird, and then I'm going to switch out into Scizor, and then I'm going to get regen health on Tangrowth, and then I'll be in a great position. Turns out I died to the fucking burn damage, and then it became, you know, Lopunny had to come in, I ran Power Punch Last Resort again just because it's so good. And this was just a tremendous game. Hitmonlee came in on us and hit Mach Punch, and it was a roll, but the roll was in his favor, and I'm glad he got it, honestly, because I think I only had like a 12% chance to live or something like that. Like, it was crazy. Like, if I would have won, it was like, holy cow. Like, if I would have won that, I would have had no choice but to win everything because I would have felt so bad. Like, I would have had to go on a championship run. But that battle was truly amazing, and GG again to Dan. You should go check it out. And so yeah, I mean, looking at the season, this is the most fun I've ever had in a draft league, and I run a league myself, okay? And I learned a few things that I want to implement myself. Obviously, there are things that that could be improved with anywhere that you go, but the people that we had. Excuse me. We were able to come together and work together and get this accomplished, and I really think that this was a success that was thrown together, and I was really actually happy, very happy to be a part of it. And hey, what can I say, man? Hopefully I get invited back to Season 2. I would love to return. So if you see this video, I'm down. But yeah, no, let me know what you guys think about the season. Let me know what you thought about me. Shout outs to the wonderful, wonderful GlitchX City for being so generous and letting us use her music as often as we do. If you guys want a Miami Donphans shirt, they are down in the description. XBL videos is XBL is another for fun. Oh my gosh, XBL is another for fun league if you guys want to check it out. And I didn't mention this, actually. I'm so stupid. This season for WBE, like I said, was the most fun that I've had in a league, but I had so many things that had happened in my life during this time. I had lost my grandfather. I had gotten very sick, which I still have a cough, and oh my God, you have a cough. But like, I'm still dealing with this. I had got pneumonia. Well, technically I had bronchitis. We got it before I got pneumonia, but I was still very, very sick. And, you know, losing my grandpa, and there were just a lot of things that went down, and it was cool to still have a hobby and have something to keep my mind in check, keep it off of the negatives, and it was a for fun thing too, you know what I mean? I think it would be different if this was like NPA time, because then I'd be like, well, I need to win, or I need to do this, and this I was just like, you know what, man, like, let's run Cosmic Power Lopunny. Like I don't care, you know what I mean? I'm just having fun. But yeah, so if you guys are still here, I love you, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for helping us get to 10K. We made it. I love you. And please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, if you want. If not, leave a comment and let me know why. And that's all I got, Donphans. Roll out.